Good afternoon, Chairperson, members, and everyone who has joined us for this special ER meeting today. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Next is the Chairperson of the Audit and Risk Committee and a member of various subcommittees of the Energy Regulator, Ms. Precious Bia.
Good afternoon, Chairman. Good afternoon, everyone from NESA, and good afternoon to the members of the public joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, it would be the member primarily responsible for petroleum pipelines at NESA and a member of various subcommittees, Mr. Muzuvugile Mkize. Mr. Mkize.
Good afternoon, Chairperson. Good afternoon to all the colleagues on call, as well as the members of the public that are following us through the various live streaming platforms. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mkize. We also have the Chairperson of the Finance Committee and a member of the Electricity Subcommittee, Ms. Embeka Semane.
Afternoon, Chair, and afternoon, colleagues at NESA and members of the public person.
Thank you. Faye, may you just confirm if Mr. Sbanda has joined us?
Yes, he has, Chair.
Thank you. And then the last member in attendance in this meeting is Mr. Fungai Sbanda. He is the chairperson of the IT Governance Committee and a member of various committees at NESA. Mr. Sbanda.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sbanda. Members of the public, colleagues, we have one agenda item that we are going to discuss today. I would like us to go to item number 3, and where we are going to adopt the agenda for today. If you could indicate by raising your hands that you are in support of adopting this agenda item. I've got Ms. Maseti, Mr. Mkize, Ms. Bia, Advocate Sitole, Ms. Semane, Ms. Mbungose, Mr. Sbanda, I've seen you. Ms. Mbungose, I haven't seen your hand, but if you could confirm that you're adopting. We have enough members to adopt the agenda. So we're going to adopt the agenda. We're going to move over to item number 4. Item number 4 is the declaration of interest. Are there any members of the energy regulator who would like to declare their interest? I know that it is a common cause that ESCOM tariffs and municipal tariffs affect us all, but this is an interest that's more pecuniary than just that. Ms. Semane, are you declaring any interest? Your hand is up. Ms. Semane?
Sincere apologies, Chair. My screen just disappeared on me. No, I have no interest to declare. I'll just complete the declaration form. Thank you.
Thank you. So if we could all do that, members, complete the declaration of interest forms. And we are now going to move on to item number 5. Item number 5 is the report from the chairperson of the Electricity Subcommittee, Ms. Nomfundo Maseti. Ms. Maseti, take us to item number 5.1. And in your presentation, Ms. Maseti, I think we have discussed in the meetings before this that we just want to give the lay of the land in as far as what this is, what are the statutory requirements, what the stakeholder comments were, in particular to our public consultation, what NESA's stance was, the ESCOM application itself, and what we are approving. You have the floor, Ms. Maseti.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you for the opportunity. Chairperson, what is before the energy regulator today is the report of the Electricity Subcommittee. This report is in relation to the application submitted by ESCOM for the retail tariffs, as well as the structural adjustments that ESCOM wants the energy regulator to approve for 2025-2026. This application was received by the energy regulator on 19 February 2025. And just to refresh the memory of the members, this application is the culmination of, firstly, the process that we have embarked on, which was quite an intensive process of the MYPD 6, where the energy regulator approved certain revenues for ESCOM for 2025-26, 2026-27, 2027-28. So this application is only in respect of 1 year, being the financial year 2025-2026. The members of the regulator will also recall that after we have approved the revenue that is required by Eskom, we then considered an application from Eskom. That application was for the restructuring of the tariffs. So it was the restructuring of the tariffs, the plan of Eskom in terms of restructuring of those tariffs. And what then happened there, which is also something that we are going to see now in this application, is the rationalization of the tariffs for simplification, but also just to ensure affordability and also to ensure cost reflectiveness. And I think those are some of the things that we are likely to see in terms of the standard tariffs that Eskom is requiring us to approve today. Also, Chairperson, just to give members the comfort in terms of how this application was processed. Firstly, the energy regulator looked at the provisions of the Electricity Regulation Act of 2006 as amended. And secondly, based on that, which is Section 15, and secondly, we looked at the ERSA methodology, in particular, Section 8.2 of the ERSA methodology, so that it can guide the process that we had to embark on. And the ERSA methodology makes it clear, or at least it draws a distinction between customers that are supplied directly by Eskom, as we call them non-local authority customers. And in respect of those customers, what we are going to consider today is that for those customers, the increase or the adjustment that is going to be considered will be effective as of April 2025. And it is valid for 1 year, meaning that it will end as on 31st March 2026. And then secondly, the methodology, the ERSA methodology, also provides how the adjustments should be implemented when it comes to municipal or customers of the municipalities, which will only consider this adjustment on the 1st of July 2025. And that is also in terms of the management the Municipal Financial Management Act. Chairperson, the Electricity Subcommittee considered this application earlier today, and in its consideration, it also considered the fact that we needed to undertake a compulsory consultation process as dictated in Section 10 of the NERA Act as well as the Electricity Regulation Act. And we read that with the provisions of PAJA, in particular Section 4 of PAJA, which allows a truncated process for consultation for various reasons. One being the nature of the issue that we are considering. Looking also at the urgency of the issue, particularly from a statutory deadlines point of view, and the application that is before us today, we all know that Eskom is required by law to table it before Parliament by the 15th of March. Hence, we have to take a decision prior to that. So we have considered other pieces of legislation that have implications on the decisions to be taken by the energy regulator. We are satisfied that from that perspective, we have followed due process. And we have received, in fact, comments from various stakeholders, about 7 stakeholders, the energy intensive group, City of Cape Town, City Power, L-Expert Pty Ltd, Rural Maintenance of Free State, Solar Group Pty Ltd, as well as AMEU. So those are the stakeholders that have submitted written comments so that the energy regulator takes those into consideration. They have been taken into consideration, Chairperson, when we analyzed the application by Eskom. Now, coming to the application itself, just at a high level, it is. I would like to indicate that Eskom has applied for an annual average standard tariff increase of 12.74% for the financial year 2025-2026. And this percentage, Chairperson, is in line with the revenue that we have increased, of which revenue we have also translated into a percentage increase. And that percentage increase was 12.74%. So it is taken from that decision that we have made in January of this year. Now, based on that, Chairperson, we then used the methodology itself to guide us on how we must look into this. I would like to draw the attention of the regulator members to page 4 of the covering submission. You will find table 2 on that page, and that is the summary of the application that is submitted by Eskom. In terms of that application, you will see how the annualized average tariff increases have been split, or the revenue that we have approved, how it has been apportioned to different customer groups. And I'll go through that now, Chairperson. I would like to start off with the municipal group. And as I indicated earlier on, they will start incorporating this increase into their cost of supply for the period starting July 2025. Now, what we have there are the Munich Flex, as well as Munich rates, public lighting, general wheeling, the generation wheeling, and gen offset, as well as gen purchase. So with that, Chairperson, the increase that is requested by Eskom for those ones is 11.32%. That's how much Eskom intends to recover from those groups of customers. Now, coming to the next group of customers, these are now customers that are receiving supply of electricity directly from Eskom. And there we see an average increase of 12.74%. And those kind of customers are key industrial as well as urban customers. So we're talking there about the likes of the Mega Flex, Mini Flex, Night Safe, Urban, and the rest of what you are seeing on that column. The third group that we have where Eskom would like to recover revenue for supplying electricity is the business rate as well as public lighting. Again, the Eskom is requesting the energy regulator to approve that it recovers 12.74%. And then the next group is the rural, and we've got the likes of Rural Flex, and Night Safe, and Land Rate, Rural Flex, and the others. Again, the Eskom is requesting that the energy regulator allows it to recover 12.74% of its revenue that it requires. The other groups where Eskom requires 12.74% is the Home Light 20 amps, Home Light 60 amps, Home Power, Home Flex, as well as the Gen Offset Home Flex. Chairperson, that is really the meat of today's decision that is sought at the table that I have just gone through. And the analysis itself that was undertaken by the energy regulator has not made any adjustment from what Eskom has requested. It has looked at the substantiation of what is requested, and has also considered the comments from stakeholders. Now, when one looks at the nature of the comments from stakeholders, the comments are largely related on the decision that the energy regulator has already taken. What decision? The decision on the RTP, the restructuring tariff plan that the energy regulator has looked at. They are, for example, concerned about the the generation capacity that we've looked at, the issues of the fixed cost, all of those issues were issues that were already considered by the energy regulator. And in some instances on the fixed cost, the energy regulator has looked at the phasing approach of those fixed costs, where it did not approve the amount that Eskom wanted to apportion on the first year. Instead, just to ameliorate the impact, the energy regulator, in recognizing that those fixed costs must be allowed, it has only allowed 20%. So it's on the GCC as well as on the issue of the rationalization of the tariffs for the municipalities and just the impact. And really, it's not an issue that is arising only in respect of the ERSA. It is the issue arising from the decision that is already taken by the energy regulator on the RTP. So I wanted to emphasize that. And that is just the summary of the essence of the comments that are coming out of stakeholders. Now, having done so, Chairperson, from the electricity subcommittee, the deliberations were that the committee accepted the analysis. What the committee requested is that in the decision itself, we must make sure that the table is attached to the table that we are supposed to approve as requested, and also things that are quite standard that would in any event be published and be put there. We need not request an approval for such things. I would like now to take the members to the recommendations. The recommendations are on paragraph 15.1. The electricity subcommittee is requesting the energy regulator to approve the Eskom's application for the retail structuring and retail tariffs and structuring for 2025-2026, and also to approve the reasons for decision for the retail tariff and structural adjustments for 2025-2026 as attached on Annexure A. And lastly, for the energy regulator to note the stakeholder comments attached here as Annexure D. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Ms. Masetti. Thank you for the comprehensive brief on this this tariff. May I now give the members the opportunity to ask questions, make points of clarity or enhancements on this submission? Please raise your hand, members, if you need to make a contribution. Ms. Masetti, it appears to me that it's as clear as everything. There are no hands for any points to be clarified, and I think that the prior work done in the electricity subcommittee has assisted the regulator in ensuring that we get to the decision in the most efficient way possible. So on that note, colleagues, may I then request that if you could indicate by raising your hands if you are in support of approving the Eskom retail tariff and structural adjustments application for 25-26 financial year, and approve the schedule of tariffs that are attached as annexure. I've got Mr. Mkhize, Mr. Mane, Ms. Masetti, Ms. Bungose, Mr. Spander, and Ms. Bia. Faye, I think we have the right number of members approving this, so the decision is made. Any questions from your side, Faye, with those updates that Ms. Masetti has indicated?
None, Chair, it was clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Members of the public, I don't know, Ms. Masetti, if you wanted to, I think you've covered the stakeholder comments, so we are not really going to get into item 5.1. At this point, members of the public, I'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for following us as the energy regulator as we